Guys, let's have a chat, shall we? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your favorite mask collector's favorite mask collector, AJ Good, here at the House of Masks, where we unbox and review cool stuff almost every single day. And in today's video, we are doing things a little different. Now, we will be unboxing a piece today, and we're even going to be assembling it. But while we do so, I want to talk to you guys, have a little bit of a heart-to-heart. Something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and something that I think is important to tell you guys, especially right now.
Right now!
It is a pretty vital season for the channel as we get closer and closer to Halloween, and we are creeping up on 200,000 subscribers, which to me is a pretty big deal. So let's go ahead and jump on into the boxes because yes, we have multiple. One of them is going to be extremely easy to get into because as you can see, the USPS just took really good care of this one for me. Can't wait to find out that my very expensive helmet inside is crushed. All right, so I did have to source from a few different people to have a completed piece, and you guys can probably already tell what is going on. We are going to be putting together a self-titled Craig helmet here. I do have all the pieces for a conversion. We've got the space helmet. We've got the MBU gas mask. Unfortunately, there is no nose cup with this one, but I am sure that I can find one kind of quick. I just didn't really feel like waiting to get one just to make this video when you get the general idea from the MBU itself, whether or not it has a nose cup. And then we've got the nails separately in this box. And now that I'm thinking about it, I believe that I have a separate MBU that is already drilled, so I might swap these things out. Give me just a second.
5 minutes later.
All right, so here you go. This is the pre-converted copy that I already had in my collection. This actually came off of a separate self-titled Craig Jones conversion that I recently sold, and I didn't really want to sell it, but I also had a bunch and I figured I would go ahead and just give back. The guy that wanted it seemed like a real collector. And I was like, man, I'm over here with like 6 of these things. I can probably let that one go. So we worked out a deal and I was just hoping that it would come back to me in the future. And I think that it did. And that's kind of a running theme with this video. I'll explain to you guys in just a minute what I mean by that. But there is the pre-converted copy. This one is obviously more accurate because it is converted. I've already done all of the scratches and the drill holes and the cracks on the visor. It also has that sticker down there on the bottom of the rim as opposed to this untouched copy, which now I can keep untouched because there's no point in butchering another one. Unfortunately, that is exactly what this is. I mean, we obviously do it for a reason. We want accurate conversions, but if I don't have to mess that one up, I'm not going to mess it up. I already have this one, and that is good enough for me. And as I mentioned, I do have some nails in this box. I was starting to run low on my accurate self-titled Craig nails, which, for those of you that don't know, are pretty hard to get a hold of. They are not American nails, so they're really, really uncommon here. And when you, oh, he threw in some extras for me. That is so cool. Man, now I don't know what version I want to do. I could do an Ozfest version with the strobe light on there and the hose on the MBU. That is really, really awesome. So, hell yeah, man. Anyways, as I was saying with the nails, these are not super, super easy to come by. You have to get them from overseas, and you typically have to buy them in a lot of bulk. Like, you just have to order a lot of these, hundreds and hundreds of these. But I found a friend who was willing to sell me some, and they really came through. Obviously, not just with the nails, but with the extras there. So now, the possibilities are endless. I honestly didn't know which version of the self-titled Craig I wanted to do for this video, and now I really don't know. I went from having 3 options, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, to having like 10 options, and that makes the decision a little harder. So I think I'm going to hop onto slipknothistory.com and check out the self-titled Craig helmets and see exactly which version I want to do, and I will check back in with you when I make my decision, okay? All right, guys, so after visiting slipknothistory.com and looking through the different variations of Craig's self-titled helmet, and then stepping over to the Craig Jones section of my Slipknot mask collection, specifically the self-titled conversion area. As you can see, we have 3 self-titled Craig conversions right here on this shelf, and then we have a modern-day replica down there on the bottom. So that's what the mask currently looks like in real life, as opposed to not real life, I guess. Anyways, not important. I have these 4 conversions right here, and I am missing one that I think is a very obvious choice, and it is the one that comes directly after this very early self-titled Craig conversion. So this would have been what you saw in most of the promo material as far as like the self-titled cover, the different shots around that time, 1998 going into 99, and the version that we are going to be doing comes right after this one, and the only difference is that Craig actually took the hose off. So we still have the strobe light on top, which is super cool that that guy threw in the strobe light with the nails that we got today, so we can do a slightly later early self-titled conversion, and I think that's going to look nice on this shelf. We have 2 later variants. We have like a mid self-titled when it really started to show some signs of wear and tear, and then we have a very late self-titled more along the lines of like a dynamo conversion, and we will have one that kind of accents this guy right here, and just kind of follow in suit with this guy down here as far as the early self-titled looks go, and kind of break up the monotony with these 2 later self-titled conversions down here. I know that it might sound silly, but I see a drastic difference between these 2 styles of masks, and the reason that I say that that might sound silly is because the only real difference is this one has some more white showing and it's missing the strobe light. But I think that myself, along with a lot of collectors out there, definitely have a favored version and definitely see a big difference between the 2. So I think that adding another bigger, blacker, that's what she said, version to my shelf right here is going to definitely just help this shelf look a little better, a little fuller, a little more diverse, and I am excited for that. Now, the problem with doing a conversion closer to an early self-titled variant is over here on the table. I'll take you guys over here and show you exactly what I mean. Now, those early self-titled conversions did not use any electric tape, which we've got right here, just in case I needed it, to keep the nails in. The nails just ran straight through, and eventually they started getting so loose in these holes here that they started to go in, so Craig kind of wrapped pieces of electric tape around them to help them stay up there. Now, the problem with that is that these holes are already drilled. Somebody already converted this helmet, and they are pretty big. So obviously, if I put a nail up through there, it's just going to fall straight through. So I am going to have to work some craftsmanship and kind of get this thing back together and able to keep those nails in there. I think that I should be able to do it pretty easily. It's just going to be a little extra work, but it is what it is. I was able to put all of this stuff together for pretty cheap. I think I paid less than $200 for everything that you guys see here. So for less than $200, I am going to have a nice, new, pretty accurate, self-titled Craig Jones helmet in my collection. So let's get started on the conversion, and let's get started with this conversation that we need to have, huh? Right, so let's get to it. We will discard the nails for the time being. We will go ahead and get the MBU put on the helmet, and we can start talking about the subject at hand, and that is support. I want to talk to you guys about something that's kind of been bothering me the last few days. I mean, I guess it's been bothering me for a lot longer than that, but definitely the last few days, because I've noticed some stuff that kind of makes me feel uneasy about the hobby or the channel or the community, however you want to put that. I mean, the House of Masks is most certainly a community, and my channel directly reflects that community and is literally in existence for that community. So I'm a little worried with the lack of support. We are getting close to 200,000 subscribers, which is absolutely incredible. I never, ever in a million years would have imagined that. I remember making the 10,000 subscriber video because I couldn't imagine hitting 10,000, and then we did, and it just completely blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. I thought for sure that we capped out at 10,000. I was like, that is it. That is the biggest number of people that are ever going to be into stuff like this. And then I realized that the channel not only collects all the people that are into that, which is a lot more than I ever expected, but it creates people that are into that. It is growing, believe it or not. This is not a dying hobby. This is not a dying community by any means. And with the fact that it is getting bigger comes, how should I put this? Outsiders, and I don't want to sound like a gatekeeper here, but what I'm getting at is The House of Masks is the place. It is the thing, it is the channel, it is the community. There is no one that is doing anything like what I am doing with the channel, and there's no other community out there in this hobby like the House of Masks community. You, watching this video right now, whether you like me or you don't like me, are a part of that community because you are here. So whether you want to admit it or not, you know exactly what I'm saying. No one else is doing what we're doing. No one else is bridging the gap between artists and makers, artists and fans. No one else is bringing you guys a consistent upload schedule like I do with the quality of the content that I am putting out, and especially not on something as niche as what we are doing. And believe me when I say that if you're not with it, you're against it, and you don't want to be against it, because if the House of Masks isn't absolutely killing it for the hobby, this is the type of stuff that you're left with. Is that what you really want?
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
So, when I tell you guys to go sign up for Patreon, it's not to make my wallet fat. I have come to terms with the fact that my wallet will never ever be fat. I will never be rich from what I'm doing, but that's never been what it's about. When I monetized my channel, the entire goal was to make this self-sustaining. I wanted the channel to support itself because I love what we are doing. That's why I'm not doing your typical YouTube stuff. I've never followed the trends, and I never will. I want to make educational and informative content that is semi-entertaining for the very, very niche community that we have, because you guys share the same passion as I do, and I never ever had that growing up. I never had anyone to do any of this sort of stuff with. You guys are that community. So when I tell you to go sign up for Patreon, it's because it supports the channel, not me. When I tell you guys to go buy merch, it's because it supports the House of Masks, not me. And yes, I do make a living from this, but if I wasn't making a living from this, I wouldn't be able to dedicate this much time and effort and energy to the channel. You guys wouldn't be getting videos almost every single day about stuff that no one else is covering. So don't take this as me like whining and saying that I'm not getting enough support or anything like that. I just think that we definitely have setbacks. We probably go through a lot more than even you guys realize. I will tell you, I probably get a minimum of 5 comments a week from people realizing that they've been unsubscribed from my channel. And I think that that is whack. We probably should have hit 200,000 subscribers years ago. But here we are on the struggle bus, chugging along, and I just want to make this video to let you guys know that it doesn't work without you. It is a bit discouraging and disheartening to see these much, much smaller YouTube channels that are putting out just absolutely whack, low effort content. And then at the end of the video, when they say, hey, thanks to my patrons, you see 7,000 patrons. Like, dude, you're borderline making an AI generated video for 30,000 people. And that many people are signing up for your Patreon when I know for a fact that my Patreon is the best. How do I know that? Because I am a patron of some of my favorite YouTube creators, and their rewards have never held a candle to mine. So think about it. For just $5 a month, you guys can support the House of Masks and get just an amazing reward system. I can't even begin to describe to you how much cool stuff you get, but I'm sure that my patrons will sound off in the comments to let you guys know. I shouldn't be having to sell this to you guys anymore. I think that it's pretty obvious that it is not only the right thing to do, but it is something cool for you. So even if you're just doing it out of greed, well, trust me, your greed will be taken care of. With that being said, there is still one more day today. Today is the absolute last day to pre-order your new House of Masks merch. I took my merch store down last year. A lot of people asked me what was up with that, when was I bringing it back, and I told you guys that I wasn't going to do it until it made sense. Well, right now, it makes sense. We've got this giant change, this big investment with the church, and I decided that I wanted to do something related to the move, so I brought you guys this new design through Full Eclipse Co. called Church Merch, and it's really cool. I just think that it signifies the beginning of a new era, and now is your chance to get it. When I say that this is your last chance, I mean literally today. The day that this video drops is the last day that you guys can go over and grab that. So go get it, support the House of Masks, look rad, everybody wins. It's a no-brainer. And I really just kind of stepped away from putting this thing together because I kind of went off on a tangent there, huh? A link to order that shirt will be down below in the description of this video, as well as the pinned comment, to make it nice and easy for you guys to go over and grab yours. And I guess just to circle back to the original point that I was getting at, that if we weren't doing this, no one else is going to, and this is the type of stuff that you're going to be stuck with, which I don't think anybody wants. I know that you're cringing watching it again right now, but if I had to see it, so do you. And this is what I mean by outsiders. This is the kind of content that rules the internet, and because our community is so small and is so niche, we've kind of escaped that. We've been on the outer banks of that for a while now, but it's obviously starting to get there. So, please, don't let that happen. For the love of God, don't let that happen. We are killing it. We have a great community. We need to keep that great community going. Everything has been positive lately, and I want to see that grow and grow and grow and just become this thing that kind of like kills the creator space from the inside out. We got to bring back real content. We got to bring back passion. We got to bring back everything. We got to be the change that we want to see. And I am just still going off on a completely different tangent right now. But I hope that you guys see the passion and you understand. Now I'm going to start breaking apart these nails so we can get the nails in the helmet and get this thing finished up and get it on the shelf. And then I have some cool stuff to go work on. I actually started working on it, which is why we kind of changed positions here a little bit, and there's like a slight lighting change behind me. We did a lot of stuff, and let me just say that the next Weekly Wednesday update video is going to be an absolute banger with some very, very cool things being put up. And guess what? You can see that video early if you go sign up for Patreon. See what I mean? All right, so I'm gonna get cracking on these nails, get them put in the helmet, then we will attach the strobe light, and that should be that for this little conversion here. I'll hit you guys with a time lapse and meet you guys at the end of the video to show it off, and I think that that will just about do it for this video. See you soon. All right, so we are maybe a quarter of the way done putting these nails in. I just wanted to flip the helmet over and see how it was looking, and this is exactly how they are supposed to look. They look like they are in there nice and firm, as if the helmet is still pretty new, and the holes aren't all worn out yet, like your mom. And yeah, this is the exact look that we are going for. They look like they are in there nice and tight. So I'm going to keep going, get this thing done, and I will see you guys at the end. Damn, look at that thing! Dude, I'm not gonna lie, looks pretty good. Looks like a brand new conversion. It looks like it was supposed to look like this. The nails are sitting exactly how they're supposed to, nice and tight. And all that's left is to get the strobe light on and then to get this thing thrown over into the collection with the other guys. And it is going to look really good on there. I'm super impressed with how well those nails stayed in place for as big as those holes were. So yeah, dude, let's attach this strobe light and get this thing put up. All right, so last things last, and that is the strobe light here. And I see a lot of people that like overcomplicate this. I don't know if they're just overthinking it or what, but I see a lot of people do these conversions and they fiddle with the straps up here. They like unstrap the MBU, which is a lot of unnecessary work, and also it's a little risky to the mask because these MBUs are so old and these straps are already so strained being put on an oversized head like this helmet. They tend to snap like pretty easily. So there's no need to do that. You can do something like this where you just take a screwdriver and you unscrew one side of the frame of the MBU, and then you can slide that underneath of the strap of the MBU, and that's it. You just screw it right back in and you are good to go. That took me, I don't know, 15 seconds.
That's what she said.
So now we just slide underneath the strap of the MBU, get the cord out of the way there, and we put the screw back in the side. It's that easy. All right, so now to attach the strobe to the helmet itself, we are going to use the tiniest little screw that I could possibly find, this little short guy here, and we are going to use a washer. You won't be able to see this because the strap of the MBU is going to cover it up. I like to throw these on just so we don't risk kind of running through the little attachment piece of the strobe light there. And you could use a drill for this. I'm not going to because I can't find my drill and I want to get this video done and out in time. So I'm just going to screw through this here. It's not a big deal. It's really not a whole lot of work. It goes in pretty easily and we will be all set here in just a second. Well, by golly, would you have a look at this thing? She's a beaut, Clark. All jokes aside, this thing turned out pretty freaking awesome, dude. Like, this is a very solid early self-titled Craig helmet. The conversion looks exactly how it's supposed to. The only thing that I am missing is a nose cup, which is infamously the hardest part of these conversions to track down. But I am sure that the day will come when I get one and I can throw it in there and this thing will be complete. Now, with that being said, there's not a whole lot left to do but give you guys some nice up-close shots of the finished product, get it over there on the shelf with the other guys and show it off there, and that will pretty much be that. So, thank you guys for hanging out with me today and watching this video. I hope that you have enjoyed it and know that I appreciate it. And until next time, this has been AJ Good here at the House of Masks telling you to say no to drugs and alcohol and also to whatever this is. Ugh. And we will see you guys in the next one.